Hello, welcome to Heroes of the Vale. Today we are joined by TJ Storm. He is live and in action. We've animated him this time, so I hope everyone's excited for that. He is playing Keen Deapreth. Today we also have Hope LaVelle playing Penelope Halfpint, Adam Bradford playing Briv the Bodacious, Lauren Urban playing Orkira Eldritch, and Jen Kretchmer playing Alyndra Sarrbarand. And as we left off last time, the heroes managed to get themselves out of the complete disaster of an attack against the Mind Flayer Empire by the Githyanki. Dragons fell to their death once a giant half-kraken, half-illithid, basically psychic screamed, mind-blasted everyone to the ground. And Penelope Halfpint was faced by her arch-nemesis, a red cap that was born from the death of a god that Penelope Halfpint had killed. And she was epically successful in doing so. And now the heroes have returned to Brimstone, only to find that the Githyanki, the ones that they made a deal with to help fight the Mind Flayers in the first place, have enslaved the residents of Brimstone, the Flying City, and are now conscripting people, rather drafting people, to fight in the war against the Mind Flayers. At this time, Lauren Urban, her character Orkira Eldritch, was faced by an evil nemesis presence from the past named Balasar, who the Heroes of the Vale had let go. And we found Briv Steelmarrow approaching Kithrak Voss, the leader of this army of Githyanki, on his griffin spiral. And then unfortunately, Keen Deapreth and Alyndra Sarrbarand witness the deaths of Boom Boom, the giant Koatoa, Rarv, the College of Whispers bard that you have known for so very long, and also the character Avrin. All were set afire by 3 large young red dragons. And that is where we're picking up. Orkira, I already rolled your perception check, and you hear just a few blocks away, fire erupts directly from where you understand that the Bird of Doom Inn is. Just, you hear screams and flames erupt as you hear 3 large dragons breathe flames.
So I'd flown up to face the dragon that Kithrak Voss is on and try to keep him distracted. Yes. Do I think the dragon hears it too?
Oh yeah, it hears it, and it seems its face is nonchalant about it. It seems not shocked, the dragon itself.
All right.
It sort of just moves its eyes to the left.
I'll look over and then look back at... Yeah, I'll look over at whatever that was and then back at the dragon and go, huh, that's not good. What was that?
All right, what is everyone doing? I'm going to go ahead and start with Keen and Alyndra.
Oh, gosh. Keen?
Where are we? What are we seeing currently?
Currently, you are in the crowd of other residents who have been shackled by the Githyanki. You have caused yourself to look like a Githyanki yourself, and you are pretending to hold Alyndra prisoner. You have just witnessed Avrin, Boom Boom, and Rarv all lined up in front of the tavern and set ablaze by 3 red dragons.
Do they recognize Alyndra? Does anybody bother her?
No, no one bothers her.
Very good. I will use a cantrip for now to, especially if no one is watching, a silent image to cover her face with a burlap sack, as if she is not worth having sight, to avoid any extra problems for now. She can see through it, but others will only see a burlap sack on her face. And I will watch.
Okay. I will allow it.
We need to get into the house.
And you see the 3 still burning figures.
I will guide her to that place that she needs to be.
Okay. What is Orkira and Penelope Half-Pint and Briv Stillmarrow doing?
I'm keeping this dragon's attention any way I can. That's my goal.
Penelope's on Spiral and just awaiting for Briv. I think I'm just waiting on Briv's action.
Okay.
I am trying to. So I need to. Well, I'm going to try this either way. As I was saying before, like, and I'm going to try to use that explosion in the distance as a potential distraction, if at all possible. I'm going to try to time it, reasonably after that. But on Spiral, I've been trying to get just a little bit higher than Kithrak Voss, and I am going to essentially what I am trying to do is I am going to something that I'm sure I've rehearsed with Spiral so many times in the past. I'm going to basically try to get Spiral to kind of help launch me, but I'm just going to come up to my feet like almost a paddleboard, and I'm going to jump off of Spiral above Spiral. At the same time, I'm going to activate my armband that Averin gave me to make me grow to, twice my size. Okay. I am hoping that the bag of holding will do the same, like that my equipment would do it. If it's not, either way, it's a big bag, and I am essentially trying to drop onto Kithrak Voss with the bag to contain him inside the bag of holding.
Okay, so you can take an action, and I'm going to say it's kind of like a slow burn. You start growing and you're leaping at the same time.
Okay.
So you grow to about 8 to 10 feet tall now, 12 feet even. You're a very large creature.
Yep.
Okay. So and at the same time, Spiral starts like getting lower while you're doing this from the weight. So Spiral is a little confused, just like as suddenly.
It's okay, my friend.
And you do a flying leap. I need you to do an athletic. I need you to do a couple things here. I need you to do an athletics check first of all.
Okay.
And you should have advantage, I believe.
Oh, nice. I don't think I'll need it. I got a 25 on that.
Okay.
And it was a 19 on the die, so.
All right. You stick the landing, and you basically jump right on top of the red dragon's head.
Okay.
Which, you see this Orkira, and the red dragon's like one of the eyes actually gets squinty because one of Briv's boots squeezes its eyebrow down as he lands on top of its head. And you are now in front of Kithrak Voss. And he is enraged and somewhat bemused by whatever you were attempting. He is pulling out his great sword as you were doing so. You would have to, if you want to shove him in the bag of holding, you will have to grapple him.
Yeah, that's fine. And actually, what I will do here is, if that's the case, I'm trying to do this in a way that both he and I will end up inside the bag together. If that makes this any easier.
I don't know that it does.
Okay.
because I mean, I see what you're doing. It does look like a two-person race in a bag. I don't know what you call that. So this is getting kind of interesting. I think it'll be easier to try to shove him in first and then go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is that grapple at this point?
Yeah, it's a grapple check. And you should have, because of enlarge, advantage on that.
Okay.
Oof.
Another 19, 25.
Yeah, I don't think a 7's going to cut it on this one. He looks legitimately surprised. I mean, his armor is bejeweled. This is essentially like one of the head shock troops for the Githyanki. On top of a red dragon, you just got big, grabbed him, and shoved him into a bag.
So if I have him in the bag at this point in time,
yes,
I am going to
Get on Spiral! Get on Spiral!
Yeah, I'm just
Get out of here!
That's about
So
all
I don't know
you
if
can
I
do
have
now.
any other action. Yeah.
You've done.
Yeah,
You've
okay.
done all that you can do.
All right.
You've just plucked a man off of a red dragon and shoved him into your bag of holding and stuffed it, just airport luggage style, and sealed it up.
Got it.
So that's what's
Morgan's
going on
gonna
right
have
now.
fun with him.
All right, Penelope Half-Pint, what are you doing?
She's just like, what is happening? I'm just gonna stay on Spiral and whatever anybody needs. She's here.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're kind of in combat. I already rolled for everyone. The first person that goes, ironically, is Briv. Then it is Orkira's turn.
So how far away is Spiral from Briv? Spiral and Penelope from Briv?
Spiral is quite close, and Briv is now like just ginormous. And
Okay.
standing on top of a red dragon. The red dragon is having actual trouble maintaining, its neck up because it just has a double-sized half-orc on top of its head right now. No
Okay.
one does this.
We do. So I'm hoping that Briv is going to get on Spiral and they're going to get out of here with the package. And my goal this whole time has been to keep the dragon's attention. So I'm going to hold my action until I see what the dragon does. And I just want to stay in front of its face. So wherever it goes, it all it sees is me. I'm just right there. Hi. No, don't pay attention to the giant half-orc on your face. It's okay. It's gonna be fine.
Is Orkira just doing like a little?
Yeah, I want to make sure I am between it and whatever it's looking at in case it decides to breathe.
All right, Keen, is your action if you want to do anything combat related, but I assume so. You are trying to sneak with Alyndra back into the Bird of Doom Inn.
Just doing my duties as a soldier, marching her towards that place.
Okay. Yeah, you can march her into one of the back alleyways in there.
What do we see there?
Inside, the exterior is clearly burning. The fire hasn't started erupting inside of the building itself.
Does it look like anything inside is burning at all?
No, nothing has started burning yet. So it seems like just the outside is burning.
Does it look like the flame is being repelled?
Yes, somewhat, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to run inside with Keen. I'm going to start going to all of the places where there are important things hidden and taking them out.
Okay. You're running around just going to all the safes, finding everything that you can find.
And then I'm going to my bookshelf, taking down a book and opening it up and taking out my stuffed blue dragon. Oh. And it goes in my pack.
Okay. You do so. Keen, while she's leading you around and she's grabbing things, you notice that sometimes she'll walk through a doorway only on the right side, warning you that if you step on the left side will like just fall apart and there's just like an endless dimension of falling. Sometimes she has to warn you that certain glyphs are actually on the ceiling. If you walk in the wrong order, you will be set aflame. This place is just filled with all kinds of arcane booby traps and strange things.
I trust her word. I do exactly as she says.
Yeah. Okay. So
At times I may be moving too quickly for Keen to even keep up with some of it. I just watched my father die, and I have a purpose right now. I need to just grab the things and go. So I try and remember to tell him, but there's a chance that I will forget some things. Because I am on a mission, so it may be wiser at some point, Keen, to just stay here. Let me do this. I'll be right back.
You managed to grab a hand-knit bag of holding that Sophia's had given you as well. And as you see that, you see the large painting over the bar. as you've acquired several different arcane items, some of which you don't even understand necessarily yet what their purpose is. You've just basically raided all the safes, and then you see the portrait as well.
I know how to use the portrait. Yes.
The what?
The portrait. I know how to use it. Yes.
You do. What do you think the portrait is?
So it's well, I would know what it is, wouldn't I?
Right. There's something magical about the portrait, so you just know that this is kind of like a portal for her to be able to see into this area.
I tell her what happened. So I go up to the portrait, and I know that the frame is important, and I look at her and I say, Mom, it's happened again. I think this time it's different. I'm not sure. I hope it's not. Let's start looking. There's him and Rav and Boom Boom, and there are Gith everywhere, and there are mind players, and it's bad. I need him to help him if he's around, and if not, I need to be in help.
As you do so, the sunlight that's moving through the windows seems to dim, and there is a low rumbling all over the city. And you feel your feet get heavy, as if gravity itself has increased. And the painting of Sophia's just goes completely black. There's just a void of darkness. And the entire building starts shaking.
Did you do this? What is this?
It's my mother.
Oh, shit.
She's displeased. We should summon the others. Now, is this the sort of thing where we want to run away from it, or where we want to go towards it?
You have not seen Sophia's mad a ton.
No.
She gets very overly protective. It might be good to get out of the way.
Okay. We should run. Now.
Run where?
Away. We should gather everyone we can and go as far away from here as we can. I know what to do. Get everyone quickly. And we're going to go run toward where they are. As soon as we get toward where everyone else is, I'm going to start casting a tiny hut.
Okay.
The one that I learned from my father, not just a basic one.
Okay. All right, you do so. You start running, and you leave your childhood home behind. And that leaves us to... Was there anything else you wanted to do, Keen? Grabbing weird items, anything like that?
This is not my home. I do not know what or if I should grab anything. So I let her do what she needs to do and make sure that I'm ready when she is.
If you think there are things that you can use to defend yourself, get them now.
Do I see anything worth grabbing to my Eladrin eyes?
Yeah, you see a cloak of elven kind.
Then it is now a cloak of keen kind.
Just you grab one of those out of the closet. It was mislabeled completely as a cloak of, a cloak of the bat. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. And like, that's not what this is. You do notice that this entire area is just completely, it's very disorganized. The magical items are in the wrong places. healing potions aren't
That's
healing
intentional.
potions. Sure.
It's intentional. We
Let's
know
give
the
Avon
system.
lots of credit. So that's what's happening.
It's a system. If anyone comes in, they won't know what they're doing. But we know.
That-
It's
for sure.
completely fine.
That's totally
It's
accurate.
organized chaos. Organized chaos. I don't know.
Just chaos.
Just
All right,
chaos.
You are running into the alleyway out of the Bird of Doom Inn at this time. For those who have been holding actions, are you still holding actions? That would be Penelope Half-Pint and Orkira.
I'm doing, staying in front of this dragon.
The dragon is now
Distraction.
going. It opens its jaws, looking pointedly at you. I guess there's no point in us pretending anymore. And I need you.
I don't know why we're pretending to begin with.
Orkira, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. 17.
Okay.
Is anyone still blessed?
No, I'm not there to maintain the concentration unless Orkira
Right.
has cast a bless.
I have not.
Oh, boo. Well,
Is this that he's breathing on me?
how
He
close is Penelope to
breathing
Orkira?
all of the fire inside of him right into your face.
Okay. And it is not going to hit anybody else.
No, because you're mainly in the air. The dragon is on top of a building, so no, it's not directed towards anyone else but you.
Okay, that's fine. And I rolled a 15, so no.
You take 56 points of damage.
Oh,
Okay, but that's fire, right?
Wait, it's
so I
fire,
take half.
right?
It is fire damage, yes.
Yep. It still hurts.
I think
It's
that
so
hope,
bad.
like jumps in, but it's fire. Okay, so it's okay.
All right, so that's going to be
thanks.
that's going to be 28. All right.
Okay.
Yep,
Penelope,
I take it.
what are you doing?
And
You see a shadow that is Orkira in a just being just consumed with flames.
And
when
where
it's
is
done, I
Briv?
smile at the dragon and I say, "Ha ha, that tickled."
Okay. It is very angry now.
As long as it's
you see
angry at me.
green slime oozing off of its teeth as it's like enraged, and its eyes almost seem vacant with the anger that it is now feeling at looking at you Orkira, who it sees as an aberration. Penelope, is it Penelope Half-Pint or is it Penelope Neverember?
Oh
Who are
my
we dealing with?
gosh. It's Penelope Half-Pint right now. She's a little
Okay,
spent.
right
She's just really confused. Where is Briv at this point?
Briv is a giant, and he is on top of the dragon's head, which just breathed flames. Holding up a bag of holding, which now has Kithrak Voss, the leader of the Githyanki, inside of it. As it's
Oh my
trying to wiggle and
God, you
move.
Guys.
It's all going
Okay.
perfectly to plan.
Is it? Is it? Oh.
Organized
Huh?
chaos.
Organized
Oh my
chaos.
Okay. Penelope sees Orkira is in danger, and she's not going to think twice. Briv will be okay. Briv will be okay. He's always okay. And she's going to cast Call Lightning upon the dragon's head. Nobody hurts my friends.
Oh.
So he is on the dragon's head, standing on it.
Briv will be
Okay.
okay. Right, Briv? I didn't think he'd mind. Dexterity saving throw. Each creature
Briv,
within 5 feet.
I will allow Briv to do one cool reaction. And that is literally only to do something cool. When this goes down.
Make it
So
count.
I need Briv Still Marrow to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, that was funny. I was looking for my dice and I forgot I was using these digital ones. Dexterity.
Look who's special. He's got the digital
All right.
dice.
That's a 22. 22.
Always on brand.
Dive!
Wow.
Dexterity, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe you
So-
take half damage.
so-
Can you roll your damage, Penelope? Yeah, fine.
You got
Oh,
any more
what
of
was
those
the DC?
digital dice?
Good thing I have 3,
I'll get it
10,
turned on for everybody else.
9.
I've been holding out on it.
13, 19 points.
What was your 19 points of damage?
Yep.
Is that with the
Yes.
save or without?
That's if they fail, it'll be full damage 19 against a Dex 14.
Okay.
So what do I take?
Alright.
9?
Yeah. Let's round it down to 9. So you take 9 points of lightning damage. The dragon as well takes 9 points of lightning damage. It's saved. And screams. So Brivstomero just lights up with lightning, just glowing for an instant. And you see the electricity kind of spool and travel up and down his sword at the same time around the bag of holding and strike the dragon at the same time. And Briv is just slightly smoking around his shoulders and his hair. And his hair is a little bit higher than normal, certainly. But he seems to be otherwise unfazed. Yeah.
I prefer the term smoldering.
Briv is smoldering, and there is this slight smell of half-orc burnt flesh. So we are on to Briv's turn.
All right, so I'm having a conversation with Flo essentially as my turn, or as hopefully as my action, because I believe that what I'm conveying to Flo is probably a lot. So I'm trying to do that as my action at the same time.
Okay,
calling.
what are you asking?
Yeah, I'm basically giving a download to Flo, asking that she go inside the bag. And
why do you want me inside the bag?
Because I need you to negotiate with a terrorist. And I essentially say, I say, just stay out of reach. It's an extra dimensional space. Stay out of reach.
Oh, okay.
And basically that Kithrock Voss has 10 minutes of air. And if he does not agree to release all of the slaves, that I will pierce the bag and he will die.
Okay, and you want me to tell him all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy. He's got 9.5 minutes now.
Okay, I'll go in the bag.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks, Flo. You're
Flo's
very
the
brave.
best
Just
choice
stay out of
for
reach.
I will stay out of reach. In the
I'm getting on Spiral at the same time.
Bag of holding.
Oh my god.
Flo just kind of squeezes into the bag of holding.
And then I'm
Okay.
trying to get on Spiral, calling Spiral
Okay.
to me. And then
Yeah, you can-
if Spiral gets a turn, Spiral's going straight up.
You're gonna have to drop the enlarge. Spiral will not be able to hold you.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, you
It
drop
did
the
its
enlarge, you return
purpose.
to normal size, and hop onto Spiral's back and take off.
Yes.
That brings us to Orkira, you did hold your action, so that's fine. It's you again.
I'm still. What's the dragon doing?
Oh, it's going to bite you.
Okay.
Like it's looking to attack. It is incensed. Is not
If-
paying
Dungeon
attention
Master,
at all. What
real
is happening?
quick. Very
Okay.
sorry. But do flumps breathe?
It's an aberration, so not in a way that you understand. So I wouldn't be too concerned.
I thought so. That's what I was banking on.
So
All
what
right.
is Orkira doing?
All right, as long as I am convinced that the dragon is not going to go after Spiral and everybody on it, then I'm going to say something incredibly rude and draconic and turn and run or fly. I'm going to fly really fast. Probably not faster than the dragon,
You're
but
all tough.
I know I'm leading it in. I'm hoping it's going to chase me, and I'm leading it away from where they're flying to.
Okay.
Don't give me this look. What do you expect me to do?
No, it's good. I want you to roll a. Do we have a piss off check? I need to roll you a persuasion check or intimidation.
Oh, I'm sure both of those are going to be wonderful. You
have advantage by quite a lot.
I'll do an intimidation check. Why not? I've actually got a decent bonus to this. It's a 13.
That's with advantage?
Oh, sorry. With advantage? It's a 13.
Yeah, it's angry enough. It is now taking flight. As you fly off, it's flying towards you as well. What direction are you flying to?
As much of the opposite direction as where Spiral is going. So if they're going away, I'm going in the opposite direction away.
Okay, so I need to know where Spiral's going. Briv?
Oh, Spiral is going the opposite direction of her. I don't know. Like, literally, I'm just trying to get as high into the sky as I can.
Everyone's just like, scatter!
This is the theater of the mind.
And then there's that moment where we're like, wait, are you, should I? I'll pick...
I feel like she would see that I am very much so just trying to get as high as possible.
Okay.
So I won't go high, and I'll just pick a direction. No, I won't go in that direction. That would be dumb, even for her. She'll go away from the Bird of Doom Inn.
Okay.
Because she thinks her friends are over there, so she's gonna go in the opposite direction of the Bird of Doom Inn.
All right, Keen, what are you doing?
We are making our way back to our friends. I am leading Alyndra as the appearance is maintained as a prisoner so that we have no problem getting to where we need to go.
As you were leaving, like, the crowd has begun to disperse a little bit, and you see the three red dragons in front of the inn, grinning, and you can still see the three bodies of Boom Boom and Rarv and Aelfrin, and you notice that Boom Boom crouched in almost the fetal position when the fire came, and Rarv was holding him at the time. You still see dimensional shackles holding the wrists of Aelfrin at this exact same moment as well.
Is anyone paying attention to them?
No one's... what?
We need to get those off of him.
Are the dragons still watching this area?
Oh yeah, they're absolutely watching the area. They're mainly just kind of gloating over their kill.
And they are basically staring directly at the burn victims.
Yes.
This is not a safe place. We can come back for this. To walk directly in front of the dragons is unwise.
What if I do it from a distance?
Do it. Go ahead. I will cover you with my body.
I cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
And can I remove them is the first question.
You can pull them off because the arms will break.
Do I have any way
slide them off
without hurting him?
Well, he's dead, so
I know, but it doesn't matter. I would want to.
You can respectfully remove the shackles.
I will do that. Does Aelfrin have? Is there a faith that we belonged to?
No.
Beyond Agma, obviously.
Yeah, Aelfrin did not have a faith.
Then I will take the coin that I have of his from around my neck, and I'll toss it. Right nearby. I will flip the coin, catch it, and see which side it lands on.
It lands on heads.
They were both heads. They were both. It was which position he was in.
Oh,
he had
position?
One, yeah, how he was acting on the coin. Because this is how I'm checking. This is.
So tell me about the coin again. Sorry.
He had one where he was sort of like, "Hey," and he had one where he was I think he was winking. And if
Okay.
that wasn't exactly right, that's what it is in my head. So it is so now.
You flip the coin, and when it lands, you see a different face. And it's just a very close carving of his eyes looking directly, almost completely black.
Have I ever
And-
seen that before? Or anything
Nope.
like that before?
No. At the same time, you start noticing pebble stones and other debris in the street start to float mid-air.
Perhaps we should go.
We should go. We should go.
And
We make our way
the-
to the other.
the rest of the Githyanki start looking around as like even some of them kind of feel like they're missing gravity and start to like slightly rise up off the ground.
Is there any way to
and-
grab Rarv's spellbook or Avrian's arm?
Rarv's
the hand.
spellbook is totally gone. Oh, the hand came with the shackles. They are
Okay.
attached.
Can I remove them? I can't remove the hand, right?
Not right now.
And take it. Okay.
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 As you were doing this, there's again a low rumbling, and there's almost like a dark black mist that erupts around the bodies. And for a split second, you see a tall elven woman with red flowing hair in a black dress that almost seems to be made out of black mist itself. And you recognize Sophia's your mother, and she is angry. And then
Alyndra
she
moves
screams.
through the burlap sack that she's wearing because she knows it's an illusion. She can just pass through it. And you notice her hair goes red. And she stands in front of Keen, protecting him.
At this moment, as Sophia screams, nothing but darkness erupts out of her mouth and her eyes, and the entire area fills with a sphere of complete and utter darkness and cold. You can see nothing inside of it, and one of the dragons starts screaming as white tentacles shoot out of the sphere and wrap around the young dragon's throat and around its horns, and then slowly grabbing onto its claws, drawing it into the darkness. And the entire time the dragon is screaming for its life, almost yelping as it is drawn into this black, and it disappears.
Good.
Okay. What's Briv doing?
Oh,
So
Did I miss someone? Penelope, what are you doing? Sorry, we missed Penelope.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
So the dragon is flying away at this point, and I guess Spiral is going to be following it. Is that what you had said, Briv? We're flying somewhere?
No.
Flying in the opposite direction. Everyone's scattering right now.
Okay, well, you know what? Penelope's only big enough for one emotion at a time, so she's still pretty fixated on this dragon who hurt her friend.
Okay.
It's just as we're
That
going
is
away,
adorable.
she's like, let me at him. And she's gonna, since she still has her concentration up and her storm cloud above, she's gonna strike down before everyone gets out of range. One more lightning bolt.
Okay. All right.
So dex save 14, and the damage will be.
It did fail by a lot.
That's 15, 17, 24.
distraction is working.
Takes 24 points of lightning damage. Right in the skull. Is very perturbed. Still chasing after Orkira and catching up to her. But Orkira is flying very adeptly, very fast, and it's having trouble keeping up. They almost seem speed for speed. As Orkira is like flying through the city. What is Briv doing?
trying to
You
get
smell
away.
a horrible odor coming from the bag of holding, by the way. Clearly, Flo let loose some gases while in there. So
Very good flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very rough in the bag of holding.
Give
It is a
him
bag of
9
stink.
hells, Flo. So basically, I am waiting, and I'm waiting on Flo to be able to get the message out, and then I am going to. So I smell that, right?
Yeah.
Do I feel like there's been enough time, because again, round time is a little confusing, but do I feel like there's been enough time for her to deliver terms?
Yeah, you hear Flo actually. I'm here to watch you suffocate and die. You have to tell everyone to go away and not slave people anymore. I have also gassed you, and those are your choices before he stabs you right through the bag. My name is Flo.
Good job, Flo. Perfect.
My heart swells in pride, just kind of like the Grinch's, first of all. Okay. But then after that, I theoretically should be able to retrieve what I want out of the bag. Is that
theoretically? Yes, we are deep in theoretical.
I am going to try to retrieve Flo from the bag while spurring Spiral to get as far away from this situation as possible.
Okay, it is nauseating as you open the bag and you retrieve a Flo, and by 2 of its tentacle eye stalks, and I did good. I did really good. And it smells horrible.
Flo, I am so proud of thee.
Are we going to put more bad people in bags?
All the time, Flo. Everything about the show ultimately comes back to a bag. So,
I didn't want to bring it up.
This is the truth.
But yes, it seems like it happens a lot.
What did he say, Flo? Pray thee.
It was in Githingi, which I do not personally speak, and telepathically,
Well, that is
he
not
was
a
very
part of the plan
angry
that I thought about.
and seemed very stubborn.
So he is going to die then. Very well, Flo.
Okay.
I have another task for thee, Flo. If thou canst fly back down and try to find Penelope or Orkira, I need a mage that can
Penelope's
act
right here.
like. Oh wait, no, I'm up in the air, right?
Penelope is right behind you on group.
Oh,
If we're all on,
Is
we're all
on
on
Spiral?
Spiral, right?
During this
I
whole
haven't
time,
left.
that's amazing.
You're
Okay,
just really big. You're really big. I understand. I
Sometimes-
get lost a lot.
Briv's body grew, not so much.
I didn't
with
want
the
to say
brain.
anything, but you hyper-focus and you don't know what's happening around you.
I certainly have selective attention, so I apologize, Flo and Penelope. But Penelope, dost thou have magic that can turn thee or me into that Githyanki warrior to pose as the warrior after I kill him?
Oof.
No.
Very well. We shall at least get the satisfaction of killing a murdering, slaving terrorist. And then I just keep flying.
Penelope's worried for Briv.
The Flo is worried for Briv. Everyone's worried for Briv. It's the new name of the show. We're changing it from Heroes of the Vale to Everyone's Worried About Briv. So we now move on to Orkira. You're still flying as fast as you can.
I'm fighter jetting it out of there as I'm gonna start ducking and dodging and weaving between buildings, and I don't think I could ever actually shake this thing, but I want to make it as difficult as possible for it to follow me. And once again, as long as it is continuing to look at me and not at my friends, then yeah, I'll just continue to keep its attention.
Okay. You are, I need you to roll me. Ooh, what is good for this? Do you got athletics? Do you have acrobatics?
Sure, why not?
All right, go ahead and do some action. Because you are smaller, I'm giving you advantage on this. But
Okay,
you are like a little tiny starfighter ship just going between buildings and through doorways and even people's gardens and everything else, trying to like duck and weave and get rid of this thing.
Oop, sorry. Yeah, I'll try to acrobatics. It's the same. Oh, thank the Phoenix for advantage. Okay, that'd be a 19.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I
rolled an 18. It was great.
You find yourself going right down to like 1 foot of the edge off the cobblestones of the street, and as you are doing so, you can feel your back claws actually clicking and clacking on the street, and a little bit of sparks are actually appearing where your claws are meeting stone, and you go right directly under a train bridge at this exact moment through a tunnel, and the dragon is like fast behind you as it does so, and it immediately like slams into the wall and breathes flame as it does so. Okay. It is angry.
This is another dexterity save?
Yeah.
All right. That's a 6.
That's a 56 points of damage.
How much?
56? Yeah, I have that.
Okay. So that's another 28. Oh, it's hard to math. I'm being chased by a dragon. Okay, I got 3 hit points left. I'm running. I'm still lying.
Okay.
I don't have
it is now crawling up
over
the bridge. Instead of trying to like squeeze through the tunnel, it is now crawling over the bridge at this moment. Yep. All right, Keen and Alyndra, you've managed to lose everyone in the crowd. You now have dimension shackles with the red mechanical hand of Averin as well, and you are getting lost in the crowd.
Can we see any of the others? Do we know anything else that is going on? They seem to be in various stages of
fleeing.
Yeah, as you're watching this weird sphere and you hear slurping and weird tentacle sounds and even what you think is some unknown, unspoken language reverberating throughout this entire area at the same time, the Githyanki are just terrified of whatever is in this dark sphere. But then your attention is caught by a dragon breathing flame chasing an Orkira all the way through like past different buildings and smokestacks, knocking a smokestack down, and it slowly crumbles and hits the ground and crushes several Githyanki on the street. And you're just watching this bizarre spectacle. At the same time, you see Briv Steelmarrow shooting off with Penelope, Half Pint, and Flo on the back of Spiral in the opposite direction. And for some reason, you can tell that Briv is holding a bag aloft. Very exciting.
Sure
everything's fine. Hi.
I'm sure that he will be fine, but I do need to know, is Orkira limping? Is she hurt? From what I can see.
I mean, she's glowing because she is partially on fire. And the flames are like dying out, but you see a dragon right now. This red dragon is crawling over the train bridge at this exact moment, trying to get another shot at Orkira as she's flying away.
I tell Alyndra we must help her. She is hurt.
We're going to. By any chance, is that dark sphere a sphere of annihilation?
It is not a sphere of annihilation. It is it is one of your mother's very, very, very favorite spells. It is Hunger of Hadar.
Ah, excellent. Well, I send a message to everyone I can. I guess I can't do any sort of mass message, but it seems that Orkira is probably the best option on the dragon, yes?
Yeah.
To tell everyone what to do. I tell her to get down here right now because I'm going to cast the safety, and it's urgent that they do this now. And I will use my bonus action to do a healing word on her. try and heal her.
Am I
Okay.
And
close
what
enough?
is the range to the dragon?
Yeah, where am I?
Yeah, you're too far away for a healing word to work at this
I'm more
point.
than 60 feet.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I tell her to get down here now, and I cross the hut.
Do you tell her? Do you tell her like in a mom
Message?
way? Yeah.
No, I just
Orkira, get
straight
down
up,
here now.
get down here now. You need to get inside.
All right, I'm coming in hot. Ha!
Wow.
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 Briv, several get Yankee are shooting at Spiral specifically.
Okay.
That one is a hit. That one is a critical
Well,
miss.
hold on.
Yeah.
If anything is hitting, I might not want it to.
Okay. Tell me how
Oh.
it doesn't.
So, how many do I feel like are attacking?
About, judging by the twang, you feel like there may be 20 crossbows that just went off in your direction.
Okay, so I'm going to say the first one that hits, then I'm going to use my reaction to use a warding maneuver on my mount and increase its armor class by... Sorry, give me 1 second. That increases its armor class by 7 for that attack.
Wow, okay. The first one that hit definitely misses. You literally just split the arrow in half.
Okay. And that's all I can do. I'm just trying to reduce damage to Spiral.
Okay.
Is Spiral making any saves or dodges?
Not saves. Spiral just got hit by 5 different bolts
Okay.
from crossbows. Several of them missed because they're just the Githyanki are just wildly firing at this time. But yeah, and then in the legs and the chest, nothing seems fatal right now. But Spiral just took a ton of damage. They are specifically aiming not for you. They are trying to hit Spiral and end this.
All right.
And
So how much damage did he take?
He
You want me to
took
track
17
that, or-
points of damage.
Okay.
All right. We're basically back to you, Briv. What are you doing?
So
Kiara, did you tell them?
I think we're just following her at this point.
Yeah.
Running.
I don't know what we're doing.
I might be busy running. I could send ascending, but then I'd have to stop double moving. That might be a problem. Nope. I'm just running.
Yell it
Lots
out
of flying.
Okay.
You can scream it.
No. I
Yeah,
mean, if I
that's-
think they would
that's
hear me, then
the goal.
sure,
That's
I
the
would.
person who would call it out.
what,
Yeah.
what did she say?
Get to Alyndra. That's all I probably would say.
Flo floats over to your head. Oh, she said to get to Alyndra.
So where is Alyndra in relation to me?
Oh, she's right over there. A couple of blocks.
Spiral speed is 80 feet. How long do I think it would take to get there?
It's gonna take you a minute. It's gonna take you a minute to get there. Yeah.
All right, very well. I'm going to kind of direct Spiral that direction. But so at this point in time, do I think that I'm still in crossbow range?
You can duck down between the city street, into the city streets,
Okay.
and definitely get a lot of cover.
Okay, all right. I will. It was just a choice between going up to get out of range,
Yeah.
or so I will go down below then and make my way towards Alyndra.
Okay, now we've got dragons zooming around like Tron Legacy right now, through the city streets, being chased by all sorts of things. we are now on Orkira. You are heading back, I assume, towards Alyndra.
Yeah, I'm assuming every time the dragon stops to flambe me, it loses some ground.
It does lose some ground.
Pulling a little ahead of it. Okay.
I need you to roll me a really impressive perception check.
Okay. I mean, if you insist, I'll try. Okay. That's a 24.
You hear the toot, toot in the distance as you see an oncoming train on the train tracks where the dragon is crawling over right now.
Oh, that's...
And it's about to take flight.
I don't know if I want to be around for that. That's gonna suck. Okay.
It's
So
it's
I'll-
definitely going to take off in time.
Yeah, but... Oh, I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted to try to keep it on the train tracks, but then I'm gonna die. So, instead, I gotta run. I know, but I've got... Oh, how far away is it
No
from me?
healing left? No healing
I've
potions?
got tons of
No?
healing, but yeah, I'm thinking about bonus action healing myself, but like if it breathes on me again, it might not be enough. If it hits me again, I'm probably gonna die. So, how far away is the dragon from me?
Come to us.
It's about
Come to us.
it's about 60 feet.
60. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, you managed to get through the tunnel, so you're if you go up the tunnel, you can see the red dragon there. So you can kind of like you're kind of within. I would actually say 40 feet.
All right.
And at this moment, it's paying more attention to like take off right now.
It sees the train coming.
Oh yeah.
Then nope, out of here. All right. So as a bonus action, I will third level healing word myself, so that maybe I'll survive the next 6 seconds or so. And then okay. Action and bonus action. I'm flying. I'm dashing. I'm heading towards Alyndra because I trust my friend, and she said to come on by. I'm coming on by.
Okay.
So that's third level. Gonna be 4, 5.
While you're doing that, I trust you with the healing. Keen, what are you doing? You and Alyndra.
The distance now that they are both closing is what? How far is the dragon?
Yeah. So you see Orkira is like making a beeline for you. She's within, I'd say, about 90 feet. She's getting very close, and there's a red dragon hot on her heels as well.
Very good. I will try to distract the dragon by moving towards it and casting Cloud of Daggers on its back end.
Okay.
You're gonna poke it in the butt?
Yes. Many pokes.
All right. Okay. Go ahead and what kind of save is that?
It is, I will tell you.
I love that we went through all of this just to get the dragon away from Briv, and now we're all just gonna meet back up in the middle again.
I mean, I'm assuming if you told me to come near Alyndra, there's a compelling reason, and it probably saved my life. So
the compelling reason is that Alyndra said.
What was that?
There is no save.
Okay. How much
it
damage?
Is just damage.
Go ahead and roll it.
Yeah, I'm rolling. I should have more
It's
D4s.
just existing in that cube. It'll stay there, and then, if you're there, it's bad times to be there.
Alyndra, what are you doing?
I cast the tiny hut, so I can't do anything else. I'm trying to usher everyone inside because I know Mom is about to let loose.
20 points of dragon butt damage.
You just flay the dragon and it takes 20 points of damage. Wow.
But I want to make sure that it's at the far end of it. Yes, I got many 3s and 4s, but it is at the far end of it so that it turns around and loses sight of Orkira.
Okay, I got you. All right, Orkira's coming in hot. Alyndra, you cast Tiny Hunt.
Literally.
Briv, you are able to get there with also Penelope Halfpint on your back, and Flo. Everyone is basically the Githyanki are freaking out, and some of the people
I have their
managed
leader inside this bag. What art we to do with him?
Do you want him alive or dead?
Dead is fine, but I want to guarantee that the slaves are released.
I can't promise that.
He was my plan to release the slaves. If we have an alternative,
Briv,
I am fine with
do you
that.
want him alive or do you want him dead? You have moments to decide. If you want him dead, leave him outside. If you want him alive, bring him in. But it's not going to be good outside in just a few moments.
Outside of what?
Is everyone
The
going to
tiny hut! Hurry!
Oh, I'll bring him in. He's got a few minutes left.
Wait,
Okay.
Alyndra, what do you mean? What's going to happen to all of those people?
Just hurry.
No. What?
My father is dead and my mother is not happy.
Avrin?
Hurry.
Avrin can't be dead. No, I'm not going in if all these people in chains are going to be hurt.
And you will die. Hurry.
Briv?
Wait, all the slaves are going to die?
I have told you what is going to happen. You have time to make a decision for yourself. Do it.
Here he is. And I throw the bag inside the bag of holding, and I rush out and try to get as many people to cover as I can.
I join you.
So I can choose who is allowed into the hut and who is not.
Okay.
I want him
Yeah,
dead.
I mean, I'm not necessarily looking
father.
for hut cover. I'm looking for any type of cover that I think is meaningful.
Okay. You notice these spheres of darkness, like one will appear in a section and then dissipate, and another sphere will show up, and then just magical darkness is just popping in and out around the town. The darkness that is appearing is only targeting the Githyanki. There are no innocent people being killed or murdered, but every once in a while you see like black tentacles like erupt out of the darkness and grab like a Githyanki, and you hear the sound of crushing bones and screams. So it's clear
Once I
whatever this...
recognize that, I calmly walk back to the hut and walk back inside.
Okay. Okay, you land at this exact same moment. We're very close to the end, and you see 3 burning bodies in front of the Bird of Doom. And clearly, you can tell it's Boom Boom, Marv, and Avrin.
Oh, that was the explosion. How close is everything? Where's the dragon? Where's everybody?
The dragon is swooping up, but is now just torn to shreds. It has been hit by call lightning twice in the skull. It probably is having a little eyesight trouble. It has been torn apart by a cloud of daggers, and it is doing its best to fly in your direction.
But it's distracted at this point now?
Yes.
It's not?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell how long these 3 bodies have been dead?
About 56 seconds.
So you're
she
saying there's a
recognize them?
chance?
I can spare the dying.
Are they recognizable?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna run over. Spare the
They're
dying.
dead.
Oh.
Yeah. They're not in safe territory. They are dead.
Oh. Okay.
I thought we
I
were
don't-
revivifying, but I don't even know if you can cast that yet. I don't know what level we are.
I can revivify. Other than the last minute, so yeah, I can.
Oh,
I'm
I
looking-
genuinely did not mean to metagame
No,
there. I'm sorry.
I have it. I only
I'm
have
so
it. I
sorry.
only have no. That's. I was hoping I could spare the dying, but you're like I do have Revivify. The reason I was looking at spare the dying is I only have 2 third-level slots left.
Oh.
In the meantime, I am just to let you know, it was not 20 points, it is 11. I counted too many dice. I used too many dice.
I was wondering,
thought I
man.
cast at a higher level.
Like, not to break out the game, but
No,
like,
I
man,
thought-
that's a mean cloud of daggers you just
I
shot down.
thought I could cast it at a higher level, but I cannot. I used 64 instead of 44, sorry.
Ninja blender of daggers.
It's still up.
All right, what is Orkira
right.
doing?
I have watched Averyn come back from the dead. I've killed him and watched him come back from the dead multiple times. So I'm gonna run over to Boom Boom and Rarv and cast Revivify on each of them.
Oh my god.
So I touch a creature that has died within the last minute. That creature returns to life with 1 hit point. Boom Boom Rarv.
All right.
Briv says something under his breath about, I thought I was finished with him finally. But he's totally joking and kind of in awe of what Orkira is doing right now.
Yeah,
As you,
she's just gonna hope that all the times that she's watched Averyn pop up again, that this is gonna be one of those times. So she's going for the 2 that she doesn't think can.
You hold the diamond aloft, and as you're casting the spell, the diamond cracks and turns to dust and just kind of flows into the air, shimmering as Boom Boom's burning flesh. The fire that consumed him seems to suddenly be erupting around him again and just going back into his body as his flesh reappears. The flames are actually knitting his own wounds, the flames of the phoenix, and also Boom Boom, who's in the fetal position, just wakes up and just like, just totally confused about
Your wounds.
what just happened.
Get in the bubble, get in the bubble, get in the bubble.
Hurry. I will help him. I will physically guide him as I
Yeah,
cure
he's
wounds on
completely
him.
confused as to what's going on. You grab his arm, you grab his hand.
Yes.
Okay, you start leading Boom Boom into the tiny hut. You do the same for Rarv, and Rarv slowly, his skin stitches back together, and his clothes are still burning, and he like comes to, just breathing heavily. He's like, oh god, okay,
Get in the bubble, get in the bubble.
burning, not my kind of thing, I gotta say.
Hurry.
Ask me about that later. Get in the bubble, get in the bubble.
What's a bubble? What, you mean the hut? What? There's a bubble over there. That darkness bubble.
No,
You want me
not
to go in
Somebody
there?
has been playing Classic too much this week.
And then I can try to revivify at 4th level for Averyn.
What do you mean try?
I have one.
You can.
I have
feel
one
the
spell
dragon
slot left
coming
at
up
4th
upon
level.
you. Is
I'm sorry,
everyone
what?
inside the tiny hut?
I am at the door, watching outside the hut, ready to step inside. But if I see Orkira attempt to do this, I am going to go and stand over her as she does it.
Okay. Yeah. Orkira stands over Averyn.
Briv gets in
4th
front, shield blazing, smacking the shield, smiling as big as he can at the dragon. Have at thee!
Yeah, and the dragon is heading just straight at all of you as she's casting the spell.
There is no glory in a hut. I run at Briv. Fastball special. Into the sky, please. And I summon my glaive. And I run towards the dragon while they do their work.
All
I
right.
could very well do with 3 skulls in my home. I run.
All right. What is Briv
Oh, I'm
doing?
gonna-
Is Briv
I'm gonna have to have a
fastballing?
talk with him later.
Keen?
I absolutely will duck down and place the shield onto my back. And basically, the idea is as soon as I feel him step, I'm going to lunge and hurl.
All right, this poor red dragon that has 2 large scars over its face from chain lightning being struck by Penelope Half-Pint, whose own wings are now just threaded and shredded with holes in it, just filled with rage, missing teeth, green saliva flying out of its mouth. It is enraged in a way that has never been filled with rage before. And it is coming straight at you as Orkira has her back to the dragon and is taking up a diamond. King Deapreth jumps into the air with his glaive just as the dragon opens its mouth wide. I am going to go ahead and let you surprise it, because it's a surprising thing to do. So go ahead and make your attack.
$16.
I did not think any of this was going to happen.
Never do.
I had no idea it was going to happen, so...
How far off are we from Sophia's stuff going off?
She is popping around town just on a murder spree. And Sophia's is not a murdery type person. She is angry.
I have hit armor class 25.
What? Okay, you hit it. All right. How many attacks do you have?
3 with this particular weapon.
All right. Can you go and roll me your next 2 attacks?
Sure. $15, 14.
Total?
No. Those are the 2 on the dice.
Yeah. Tell me the total.
22 is the lowest for both. 22,
What?
23, and 24.
Okay, it's armor class 18. All 3 hit. So roll me some damage. You know, it's only a young red dragon. So easy
Thou
to
art
kill.
a fighter. Thou canst fight.
What season are you in?
I am in spring still.
Okay.
If I was not so optimistic, I would never have tried this. But I feel very good.
He does also still have Death Ward on him, because I cast that before we started that crazy battle, and that lasts for 8 hours. So
No need to remind him of the word death. No need.
I know. I'm just saying.
12 points is the first. These are just the weapon. I'll give you the energy after.
Okay.
15 is the second. And a D4 for my butt. 6 is the third for the weapon butt. And the energy. $12 for the first.
Okay.
18 for 18 for the second. Wow. And
Sometimes I surprise even myself.
10 for the third.
Thank God.
It
All right.
explodes.
You leap at the dragon, dealing what is almost a lethal blow to the red dragon as your glaive, you manage to not enter into its mouth, but just manage to actually go underneath its mouth and stab upwards with your glaive, and you are now hanging from your glaive through the throat of the red dragon. It is screaming, and every time it tries to breathe, the flames don't appear. You've just slashed right into the glands of the red dragon.
On the side of my face.
I was there with you.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I've not heard that reference in a long time. The red dragon is severely hurt. So that was Keen's action. Penelope, if you want to do anything while Orkira is attempting this.
What is Orkira attempting?
You're in the hut, right?
I haven't stepped in yet. I was
boom,
leading.
boom.
Yeah. What's Orkira doing?
I'm using my last 4th level to cast Revivify on Abram.
Is there going to be like an ability? How does that work?
I don't know. Well, usually just works, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, Penelope will do anything to help you. I'll run up and I'll just place a hand and be like, "You can do this. You're amazing." And I will cast Guidance, which will give her an extra D4 on any ability check. I don't know if it'll help, but
thank you.
You see Penelope Halfpint reach out and just touch your arm, and for a minute you kind of feel suffused not only with the Feywild but nature itself, and you almost feel like you see like tiny little vines grasp your hand as you're attempting to cast the spell.
Thank you.
Alyndra, what are you doing?
I mean, I have to stay in the hut, and I can't cast any spells out of the hut. So I am in the hut with Boom Boom and Rarv, and I'm comforting them and trying to bandage their wounds if they have wounds still.
Yeah, they do have wounds, so you can start healing them up.
And
the red dragon is going to go. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, Briv, is the bag in the hut or outside of the hut?
It's in the hut. I specifically said I threw it inside.
I know that the guy is inside it.
I made that pretty clear. I yelled it out a few times.
Oh boy.
I do here. See it. I don't care. I'm gonna mind spike him. I'm gonna open the bag, peer in, and mind spike him in the bag, and then close it back up.
Will we lose the hut?
Okay, what's the saving throw?
No, you won't lose the hut. It is a Wisdom 15.
All right, he failed. Go ahead and roll the damage. This is the worst way to die. People just opening up a bag, spell. Open up a bag, spell.
You know what? I don't care. He killed my father. He killed 2 of my friends. He gets no trial. He gets no jury. 6, 7, and 4. So 11, 17.
All right, you take 17 points of damage. He screams as you spike into his mind. The psychic energy erupts into his brain. Now the red dragon is above Orkira with Keen Deapreth hanging out of its throat, and above Penelope Halfpint and Briv Steelmarrow, and is slowly breathing in to deliver a blast of fire. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
So I don't know if Keen needs to make that or not, but because I don't know where he's positioned, but everyone else, as a reaction, I am going to establish a force field.
Okay.
Whew.
As you do so, you didn't use it yet.
No, not today. I was going to use it to drop out of the sky with the captain guy and basically play chicken with him, but that didn't come to fruition.
And so You barely, yeah. Keen's still outside the shield, but everyone else, flame just erupts, like almost in slow motion, erupting all around you, and you are in a glow of pure flame. And Orkira, you're kind of like, it's kind of great, right? Like you were surrounded by a dragon fire, and it's not hurting any of you, and you all are kind of mystically lit for a moment in this very strange moment in time as this diamond's about to crack.
We are lit.
Keen, the flames are not hitting you, but you can feel them singeing you at the same time. And you sense something is very, very wrong. As a bonus, I will give you a chance to do a reaction to this attack and rip your glaive out while it's breathing fire.
Okay. What do I need to do?
Just roll your glaive damage as you're tearing it out.
I rolled a 2, but I want to double check and make sure that because of my Polar Master, I may be able to re-roll that low damage. 1 second. Or Great Weapon Master.
Great Weapon
I think
Master.
that's on damage dice that you get to reroll 1s and 2s.
Yes. I'm going to re-roll that. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yes. 13.
Ooh,
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw now. As you're doing so, blood and viscera from the dragon is like pouring all over your face and other liquids that you've never smelled or seen before. Some of it feels like oil. What'd you get? What'd you get?
For those on the podcast, that's a 2.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Hope.
That's
I appreciate
terrifying. You just got just the 2?
Oh my god, what's happening?
Time for tiny hands.
No, not
That's
There are a lot of tiny hands right now.
nope, not right now.
Yeah, you fail as the throat of the red dragon explodes. You pull the glaive out, tearing open its glands, and oil spills all over you, but also its entire thoracic cavity explodes, and you are hit with 56 points of damage. As it nearly severs the head entirely of the red dragon, and it just slumps onto the still existing shield that Briv Steelmarrow has emanating from his shield, and the blood and ooze and green viscera slowly streak down, and you hear this horrible as it squeaks down the force shield.
I call dibs on the skull!
As soon as I see the dragon dead, I want to release the shield and rush to Keen.
Blood just rains down on everyone. So, as you do that.
Can I, as a reaction, do absorb elements?
No, I already gave you a reaction.
Oh, that was the reaction? Okay. Boom! I am below my maximum hit points. I am below 0.
But you are not, because you have Death Ward, which means when you drop to 0 hit points, instead, you just go to 1 and you're fine.
Yeah!
As I'm rushing to him, I am going to take
Thank you, Taylor.
one of my
Nah, it's a
potions and
phoenix.
force feed him.
You are rushing towards him?
Yeah, and I'm just going to force feed a potion, and ultimately, whenever if he is conscious, I'm going to say, "Thou wert a badass," and then I just hold the fist up.
I will take his fist in my left hand, take his shoulder in my right hand, and teach him a little Eladrin jig. And we will dance there on fire because that was a good throw.
Yeah. Big areas are on
Springtime
fire
team.
still, and
Briv goes with it. He completely goes with it.
The Gith
He's a
Yankee
little
are
bit
horrified
clunky,
and running.
but he goes with it.
The diamond cracks, and something's very off about you casting the spell. As you're casting the spell, the ground starts to shudder, and as the diamond cracks, so does the ground itself.
As I see this happening, I open the bag, I dump the Gith leader out, and I no longer want him in the hut. He is expelled from the hut. He is no longer welcome here.
Okay, you throw
And
him
I
out.
say, take him, Mom. Take him, Dad. He's all yours.
That's
And
kind of upsetting.
I don't care.
You throw the Gith Yankee out, and as the Gith Yankee is thrown out, Kithrak Vas, filled with rage, still armed with his great sword, form starts to change, and he starts shaking uncontrollably as some kind of spell is erupting around him, and tentacles shoot out of his mouth, his eyes go orange, and he turns purple, and he's looking at his hands like, what is happening? What's going on? And he's trying to talk, and he doesn't know how to talk, and his tentacles are just flailing, confused. And right then, he starts running away frantically into the city as he's been polymorphed into a mind flayer. And you see other Gith Yankee start hunting him.
Oh, that is.
Tis a
And I
fitting
smile.
end for thee.
A massive crack appears where Avern's body is, and it shudders and twists as it's trying to come back to life, and then it just becomes darkness. Some shifting humanoid form, almost like black liquid, slowly stands up, and sometimes you think you can see Avern's face, and sometimes you see something completely different, and it just wavers and shifts, almost like there's a blur spell or something else, and you feel like this spell has never been cast before on something like him. And your eyes go black.
Mine?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Orkira,
And
art thou
Alright,
okay?
welcome to the club. We have membership cards.
Oh my gosh.
Why dost
You-
thine eyes look like Alyndra's do upon occasion?
Everyone's gone. You are in this massive room made out of what looks like pure iron or some kind of dark metal. In the center, there is a ray of light shining from some sort of portal at the very top. There is dark water in the center in a very perfect circle of a pool. And you see rows and rows of statues everywhere, all facing the pool. Stone petrified statues of different creatures. And in hovering above the pool is just this darkness, this sort of sphere changing shape forming. And as you cannot see any of your friends, you feel your ears pop.
Was that when I slapped her?
This is the
Yeah.
third place I've been today. Where is this now? Oh,
Do you speak deep speech or primordial?
probably not.
Oh boy.
No. Celestial, Common, and Draconic.
Yeah, you hear lots of strange languages being spoken from this thing.
And when I call out, nothing happens? Nobody answers?
When you call out, the walls themselves vibrate and shift with the sound of your voice.
And this thing that's this darkness that's in the middle of the room, what kind of sense am I getting from it? Anything?
Friendship.
Okay, then maybe I won't just do what I was about to do. All right.
Does anyone slap her?
Oh, I absolutely am slapping her if she looks like she's out of it. That's what I do.
Yeah. Okay. What are you doing, Lauren?
You said that there's like petrified statues of creatures. What are they?
Oh, all different races, all in a circle around the pool of water.
Okay, and all right, she's gonna Hi, Averin, you here? This is weird. What's going on?
Violently shaking at this point.
Yeah. You see her talking to like nothing as you're shaking her. She's like, "Hi, Averin. What's going on?"
Wait, she said, Averin, hold on, Briv, hold on.
I am holding on rather tightly.
The strange black orb that's shifting, and it almost is also a myriad of colors at the same time, just slowly floats directly towards you, directly in front of you. And it's almost hypnotic, like you're under a spell, but it's just visually, you've never seen anything like this.
How big is it?
It's big. It's by like 8 foot by 8 foot.
Hello?
You hear it say hello back in your voice. Hello?
Penelope already did this to me. Not again. Come on. I'm sorry, I lost you there. Yeah.
You were not meant to be here. And you snap out of it.
Comes out of it saying, "No, I'm not meant to be a lot of places." What? Oh, that was weird. Hi, Briv. Hey, no, it's
Briv's still shaking you.
Thou art roused. I apologize.
Did it work?
Did it work? She looks down at
Averin. The blackness of Averin, the weird shifting colors of Averin's humanoid form change, and he just solidifies and starts levitating immediately. And he's dressed in semi-black robes, and his head is still shaved and bald, and he's got his black goatee, and his eyes are complete darkness, but you almost see like tiny stars in his eyes. And he's just like, "Right, well, I haven't been this way in a very, very long time. Thanks for bringing me back. How's everyone doing?"
Sure. Great. This is great. This is awesome.
Alyndra.
Everyone's still alive. I think everything's about to be destroyed, though. This doesn't look good.
Do you know, no one's ever actually brought me back to life before. This is the first time.
Hey, you know, you've done a bunch of stuff that's been the first time for, yeah, never mind. We should probably get in the hut. I think Alyndra wants to see you. And she's going to grab as many people she can and like pushes them towards the tiny hut.
By the way,
Alyndra will fix this. I don't know what was going on. Alyndra's smarter than me. Come on.
My
heal
filter
people.
for who I allow in the hut, I am only allowing really my dad, like the essence of my dad. I will not allow someone who is impersonating him in. That's not somebody who's going to be allowed in the space.
Oh, he walks right in, fine.
Okay. I just run up and I just throw my arms around him. I'm sobbing,
he just hugs you.
Huge hug.
He hugs you back and doesn't say a word. In the distance, you see Kithrak Voss, the Mind Flayer, running for his life, almost in slow motion, as crossbow bolt after crossbow bolt gets shot at him. And he's on the ground. And finally, one of the Gish wizards, Githyanki wizards, casts Disintegrate on him. And he glows green and completely dissipates. And several of the Githyanki are in retreat. The other red dragons are leaving. Already 2 red dragons have died today. And so it feels like the Githyanki are running away.
That's taken care of. What's next?
You're all covered in blood, like a lot of blood. And you have what is with the stinky bag? What's going on with that?
'Tis all my fault on both counts.
That's not a bag of holding is not a bathroom.
Prestidigitation on all of it. Fix it. I hand Dad back his arm. And
Thank
his you. But I'm keeping
his hands back though.
It's an
might
extra.
needed something else. You did a lot of work there.
I'm sure it's going to come in handy at some other point. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling?
Terrible. Awful.
Great.
Exhausted.
Penelope
I
is
am a
just
little
hanging
bit
on
hungry.
to poor little Boom Boom.
Oh.
I am still suspicious of this man who calls himself Aaron. I have never completely trusted him after his first death. The person who taught me to plant the golden tree, I lost him that day. So I stand back and I watch.
But the tree grew, did it not?
We've never been back to that world. Who knows? But I watch.
He showed you a tree growing. That's why I have the coin around my neck. It was a coin off of a gold tree that he grew.
That's so long ago.
It was. Have I seen him like this before?
No. No, you have not. But he seems super happy about it.
So, what's different this time?
Well, I've never been resurrected, so I'm back to my normal form.
So it wasn't really a resurrection. I mean, not really.
Well, I was dead, so yeah.
What happened?
Don't
I
sell
beg to differ.
thyself short, Orkira. 'Twas miraculous.
Well, I try. I'm glad
He
it all
was
worked out.
flambéed, and he stands
you.
before us now.
Yikes.
Thank you for bringing him back.
I'm glad it worked. I was afraid it wouldn't. And today didn't go anyway like I thought it would. This has
Yo,
been a
What was
weird day.
what do we do now?
Well, it may get a bit weirder, and I really apologize, but I actually need your help with something. The Mind Flayers are looking for something, and now they know that we have it.
What?
What? I thought they were looking for a.
It's something in the. It
Oh,
was
that.
in Ravenloft, and
Yes,
I
that.
actually transported it somewhere else. So they're going to be heading here.
So we need a safe place to put that. Yes.
Well, it is sort
What?
of in a safe place, but it's very important they not figure out exactly where it is. So, Orkira, how many places have you been today?
3.
You've been very good to me, and we've always had like a good rapport, and I feel like we're friends. And I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to ask you to go to a 5th place.
Wait a
Wait,
second.
no,
Ah.
I can.
All right.
The fourth
So, am I just skipping over the 4th, or are we just going right to the 5?
Oh yeah, sorry, 4th. Wait, I don't know. How many places have you been? I get confused easily. So
Well, if we're just talking
this
about
would be the
today,
4th.
No, the bag here,
Okay,
wherever
right.
that other thing was. I guess,
Correct.
yeah, 4. No, you'd be right.
If
Yeah,
it matters,
4.
I have been to more places. I have been inside that building over there,
true.
outside that building over there. I've been
Right.
in the outhouse. I have
Okay.
been where we were battling the Mind Flayers.
Don't
I
go
have
back
been
to that
up in the
outhouse.
sky with Spiral. So
Right.
if it is a contest, then I certainly come in first.
Well,
Briv, you're
Clearly
always a
Briv
winner
wins.
in my book.
I shall go with Orkira at a minimum.
I need everyone to go into the Shadowfell.
What?
Tis easy.
It is
Why?
the worst place. Can we not go back to hell? At least that had
No!
Are you
personality.
sure we're not there?
What?
Are you sure this isn't hell?
No, I feel
No.
like not. The fried
It's
potatoes
worse.
in that restaurant
No.
over there are very nice, so I would assume
The
not.
worst
A
things
furnace.
that we can all imagine are here. I
No,
had to watch
no,
you die. Briv,
No, I
You
can
had to stay sitting
100%.
safe.
This is not hell. You're all here, and this is a lot better than the last couple places I've been. Trust me.
I trust you.
It's gonna be
It's
okay.
definitely better than the outhouse.
Absolutely.
Penelope, you
The
will
apple-
face Keen, you as well, with a red cap. Orkira, you've been told that you are something you didn't want to become, and then you were faced with multiples of them. Are we sure this is not hell?
Yes.
A different type,
100%.
a different place, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't mean
Huh?
to disagree with you, Lindy, but it's not hell.
The art called Lindy.
I forgot.
Shut
I
up,
forgot about
Briv.
that.
What is the thing we are seeking? We seem to be beating around the bush, but
It's
it and that thing.
stuff.
It's an
No one shall beat
apparatus in the
Penelope.
Shadowfell, and it
Stop.
needs to be kept out of Mind Flare hands, and I fear that they have already arrived.
In the
You have the device that can cause it to work. You have the Rod of Rastaman.
And we are going to take it to the thing that needs it.
The thing that needs it is also perhaps a solution you might find for yourselves.
What is the Rod of Rastaman?
Well,
Rastaman.
mispronounced.
Rastaman.
It
Like the
allows a
gift.
certain device that was made a very long time ago in Ravenloft by an artificer, and it caused a great deal of trouble, and it's a very long time ago. So
yeah, but what does it do?
it can
It
split
makes
personalities.
everything I read, man. I'm so sorry.
No,
I tried.
I saw it happening.
Summer
Mm,
I saw it slowly happening.
because he
Bit by
is
bit.
baked.
So
Thank
then
you,
we'll just
everyone.
destroy it.
It can split personalities, he just said.
why would you want to do that?
Well, it can also bring them back together. And the Mind Flayers are trying to find a way to merge their minds with everyone's minds.
To become everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
So you want
So-
us to take this rod into the Shadowfell, one of the worst places in the multiverse, connect
Right.
it to the apparatus, and do what
Correct.
with it?
Figure out a solution? I can't.
Oh, good.
What are we
Good.
trying to solve?
So
I thought,
useful, Averin.
Listen, I can't be
why-
the answers to everything. Or anything.
Yeah.
Why do we not
Uh,
separate this apparatus even further than it already is?
Couldn't we create
Pull
a
it apart.
and store it there?
I think that you may be able to find great use in the device. So before we destroy it, I think it'd be a really good idea for if everyone maybe took a glance at it and saw what they might or might not be able to do with it. It's up to you.
I don't understand what we might be able to do with it.
Well, it can reassemble
Seems to me that we're-
personalities and take them apart again. So
I know of a
Given
few
all the-
people this would be very useful for.
given all the fractures that have been caused by the wish spells that have occurred in the last few years, it may be advantageous for us to get information from other realms or even other timelines.
Other timelines. Ugh. First the Shadowfell, then other timelines and bags and
'Tis always bags.
How do we get to the Shadowfell?
Orkira, like, make sure that her bag is tucked in and hiding at this point. It's like, all right.
Yeah,
go back to where we started.
it crawls out of your bag, your belt for a second, just going. It's just
No. Later.
I mean,
Well?
Keen, we know where the Shadowfell is. We go back to where we started.
I hate the Shadowfell. Truly.
all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching Heroes of the Vale. That is the end of tonight's episode, which we'll call Keen Hates the Shadowfell. I really appreciate everyone for watching today. Lots and lots of combat. Very epic. Very surprised by Keen Deapreth today. And I didn't think anyone was going to get resurrected either. So that's interesting. A lot less dark. Thank you again, TJ Storm, playing Keen Deapreth. Thank you, Hope LaVelle, for playing Penelope Half Pint, also known as Tiny Hands. I am calling. Thank you, Adam Bradford, for playing Briv Steelmarrow, Lauren Urban for playing Orkira Eldrex, and Alyndra for playing. Jen Kretchmer. Now she's Alyndra in my brain. Jen Kretchmer for playing Alyndra Sarrbarand. You all are fantastic. They are the best role players you could ever DM for. Thank you.
Give
for
it up for
putting
Todd
with me.
Kenreck.
Yeah!
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.